We are welcome you on the series of international discussions after the Global Forum, which took place on May 7th. The forum was interpreted into 100 languages in order to bring this information as far as possible so that many people on our planet can hear it and understand what kind of situation are we as humanity right now. Thousands of people were working on the preparation, simultaneous translators, people who prepared and look into these topics, understand what kind of crises are we right now. And, so many work was done in order to cover the questions, and many topics were raised. And on this international discussion, we want to go deeply into these topics. And I would like to pass the word to my co-host, Monica, please.
Thank you so much, Alex. Greetings to viewers. As Alex already mentioned, on May 7th, the truth was voiced. The inevitable information, questions, and topics about climate and the consumerist format of society were raised in order to open people's eyes and bring them the truth and, of course, solution. Because once we know the truth and what our reality really looks like, then we can change it. And today we will hear from our guests about their impressions after the conference, and then we will cover the topic of fashion, climate, and emergency services, and of course, the solution, which is the creative society. And I'm so excited that today we have guests who not only watched the forum, but actively took part in its preparation. Let me introduce you our beautiful guests for today. The first guest is Nitusmita Saikia from India, who is story writer and poetess, social worker and instructor in National Cadet Corps, working in Jorham, Assam. Nitusmita, hello.
Hi, Monica.
And our second guest is Andrea Benkova, who is from Slovakia, and she is finance support. Andrejka, hello.
Dobrý večer.
Thank you so much. I would like to start with the first question. Nitusmita, you interpreted the forum Global Crisis, We Are People, We Want to Live. And what inspired you to participate in the forum's translation? Could you please share us?
Yeah. Being a translator, many times I have participated for creative societies, many broadcasts, many international meeting, conversation, international roundtable, where experts came and participated, and experts had given information about the issues on which creative society is trying to bring awareness about among people around the world. So first point is, being a translator, I got chance to know as that awareness actually came to me through this translation work, through this participation. So in this way, when I got invitation for this forum, there I saw the topics they were going to cover. Those are burning issues of this era, not just climate change, climate disaster, war. Every topic covered by this forum are directly related to our life, common life, human life. So you can say, I would say that all this topic, all this information is affecting me also, my life also. So that was kind of not attraction. I felt it was my responsibility to carry forward the information, the awareness with creative society for the people. That's how I joined creative society. I came to this forum for translation.
Thank you so much. There was really so much important information that every human should hear. And also when you actually participate, you look for this information, but then you understand that, like it's so complete and so interesting to watch the full version of it, because when you only work on one part, it's just like one side of thing that you see. But when you see this complete picture, you understand the essence of what is going on right now, and most importantly, the solution. And there are many topics that were really impressed us. And I would like to ask Andrea, what impressed you on the forum?
Áno, ďakujem. No mne čo najviac vlastne utkvelo v pamäti.
But for me, what stuck in my mind the most
odvetvia priemyslu, teda modného priemyslu,
was mainly from the fashion industry. And mainly that, for example, that there are such completely absurd and even nonsensical things happening in our society, which are also related to the environment. For example, more specifically, we are making a brand new plastic just to make new sneakers. This was very new information for me, because everybody is talking and everybody is complaining about how much plastic we have and why we don't use the plastic that we already have, or use old used sneakers, for example. So this is also one of those things that was really very interesting for me there. But this is like basically just one thing that touches on the environment, so to speak, but when it's affecting people's lives, that's a whole other thing. For example, I'm talking specifically about an example that took place in Bangladesh in 2013, where more than 1,000 people lost their lives just because somebody wanted to make more money, knowing very well that the building was in a very bad state indeed, and it could collapse at any second. So this is even more striking to me when someone really only cares about the money, and the value of human life is absolutely somewhere, I don't even know where, somewhere completely at the bottom level. Another such example was in Indonesia, where the Citarum River, for example, is heavily polluted, namely by fabric factories. There, in fact, there was information that it contained heavy metals and was above the standards. This content of heavy metals is above the standards, and several million people depend on this river. So that's another thing too, that the value of human life is somewhere, it's nowhere actually in this consumer society. Then what else I would maybe touch on that, if we live in such a consumer society, then it's really up to us, and it's our responsibility to change that and to feel absolutely safe and to make sure that every single person is safe, and just to make sure that it doesn't affect us in this way, and especially not human life. From this, I have come to understand that I consider the first foundation of creative society to be the absolute basis. Because in my opinion, everything is then based on this point. And if we put the value of human life in the first place, in the very first place, we will not lose even one human life because of factories, because of fabrics, because of fashion. And that also applies to the environment, that it will not even affect the environment.
Format of society is that human life has no value. And, that's the problem. And many people out there, they die for nothing. And that's horrible, actually, when you think about it. And the creative society, the difference between creative society and the consumerist format of society is that in the creative society, human life has the highest value. And there is and cannot be nothing more valuable than human life. And thank you so much for such strong examples. And yes, this consumerist format of society is full of absurdity and paradoxes. And right now, I would like to watch video with you guys about the topic related to the fashion and those examples that Andrea told us in order to understand it better. Thank you.
Case number 115, Fashion Industry. Crime against humanity. Defendant, the consumerist format.
Aren't you gonna anything to say? Then I'll start. Bangladesh, the year 2013.
I suddenly felt, am I in a war zone? I was hearing the scream from the rubble, someone saying, chop off my leg and pull me out.
Save me, brother. Please, save me. Brother, I want to live.
Haven't you remembered? Then I'll continue. Rana Plaza, an 8-story building, and 1,134 dead workers don't mean anything to you? And the managers were warned about the bad conditions of the building. And there were cracks in the walls. And yet, people were forced to work until the tragedy happened. Among the dead were women and underage girls.
We didn't want to go up in the factory, but management forced us to go and said there was no problem with the building.
We took a pen and wrote our addresses and mobile numbers on our hands. This way, our parents would identify our dead bodies.
I know. You'll say these are isolated cases. Then explain why dozens of thousands of people annually die in cotton production. According to the latest report of the Global Slavery Index, the production of clothing is the world's second largest industry in terms of slave labor. Let's move on. To produce one t-shirt and one pair of jeans, 1 kilo of cotton is needed. According to the World Wildlife Fund, it takes up to 20,000 liters of water to produce that 1 kilogram. 20,000 liters would be enough for one person for 27 years if they drink the norm, which is 2 liters a day. And this happens while the supply of fresh water is only 2.5% of the total amount of water on the planet. Do you understand that? At the same time, every third inhabitant on the planet has no access to clean, fresh water. Are genes really more important than human life?
Indonesia, the Citarum River. The Citarum River is one of the 3 dirtiest rivers on the planet. But 40 years ago, this river and its surroundings were considered a tropical paradise. This is what the Citarum looks like now at its source, and this is what it looks like when it crosses major cities. Today, there are more than 3,000 factories around the Citarum River, a quarter of which work to export fabric for the world's clothing brands. Each of these factories dumps waste products into the Citarum every day. The Citarum is now a cocktail of chemicals with dead animals floating in it. The content of heavy metals exceeds all permissible norms here. Mercury concentrations are 4 times the safe standard. According to the 2013 report on the downstream impacts of water pollution in the upper Citarum River, West Java, Indonesia, 25 million people depend on the Citarum River. Heavy metals are not degradable. Boiling the water does nothing. People who regularly drink this water are at the risk of getting cancer, mental retardation, very slow growth.
The scary thing is, it's this same water that irrigates these paddy fields, and everyone who lives around here eats rice that's grown in fields like this one.
The factory usually dumps wastewater into the river at midnight. They'll check first if the coast is clear before dumping the toxic waste.
How does that make you feel? You have protection when you're inside the factory, then you put the stuff in the river.
It's ironic that I'm sometimes responsible for what's happening. I am conflicted and concerned, but I need to eat, so I have to work there.
3 million people work in the textile factories, manufacturing, dyeing, and sewing clothes for major fashion brands is a $12 billion industry that has kept Indonesia's economy the largest in Southeast Asia. But its price is an ecological disaster and destruction of people's lives.
And even more things that we can see in the full version of the video, that, by the way, you can look either on the forum or already as a published video on the YouTube channel of Creative Society or many others platforms. Like this example just shows how important in our society the human life is, how we as a civilized society disregard life of people who are working in order to bring all this fashionable clothes and fashionable stuff to the consumers, to the end consumers. And when you buy something, you don't see the full picture. You don't see how actually people struggle when they did it, or how they struggle when they live near these factories. Like there are many phrases that are also impressed, like really genes worse human life, right? So when we waste so much water in order to grow this cotton and then produce water, many other questions arise. So how we can change everything. And I would like to ask you, Nitusmita, what you impressed in this video? What are your impressions?
Okay, first I'll say that I'm having goosebumps after seeing and listening to the video. Hats off to the volunteers of Greater Society to bring forth all this information and videos. Now here, one point, one topic again come from, that is how we can utilize technology. Because yes, we need fashion. That's true. We want to wear nice clothes, yes. But same time, if you can dump your waste in the river, why not you bring such a multi-million, you're earning? Why don't you use some technology to same time clean the river, or you part of your waste management, why don't you use technology to dispose your waste without harming the river? So here, I won't say that we don't read business, but same time, you are responsible for the country, countryman, environment where you are living. So from this video, what impressed me, here the topics, whatever topics covered by forum, there was one thing that we are murdering ourselves. Here it is reflecting clearly that how we are actually murdering us, our society, our civilization. We human being actually are killing human being only. Here, here again that business, consumer society, the people, we are working for money. And the person who said that he has to income, he has to earn money for his family, to bring food for his children, for his parents. That's why he is working, and he is quite against the business setup. Though he is well aware of the mishap, the wrong things his company is doing with the river, with the people. And same with same water, people are growing their paddy field, people are growing their food, and entire waste of their company is contaminating the river as well as the food product. Now see, just one act of wrong thing is infecting many things: food, river, life, growth, and of course our hunger. We are eating, but we are eating poison. We are eating poison, we are growing poison, just because one act of selfishness, I would say, selfishness of this business setup. So here I request, or forum has put a request to this business people, business setup, dispose your waste. You can dispose. If you can set up such a big empire of business, same time you can set up some technological solution for this. You can stop this polluting the river. You can same time feed your workers healthy water, healthy food. You can help to stop contamination of the soil, the river. So one just good act of adopting some technology, if you can use technology for growth of your business, same technology, same device, same techniques, you can adopt. There is option for you to adopt and stop this contamination of food, contamination of mind. The doctor, that health worker said that mental growth getting slower because of the poison, because of this metal gatherings in the river. So you can grow good products, good fashion, not even clothes in people's life, good food, good water, good soil. So I am impressed with this video because it is clearly giving a good example how consumerist society is bringing or creating man-made disaster for entire globe, entire earth, entire environment, and our, human growth, human life.
Thank you so much, Nitusmita, for such strong words. Yes, that's true that this format, this consumers format of society is based on money and business, and because of this, some individuals' business, a lot of people die, millions of people die and live in very harsh conditions. And you understand that even right now, in a modern society, there are already technologies that could save a lot of people, but unfortunately they are not used because of this format of society. Right now, I would like to watch a short video fragment about such technologies.
Technologies that can help save people in emergencies. For example, a rescue drone that can be used regardless of weather conditions. Thanks to a multitude of sensors, it finds survivors very quickly. A vehicle with an autopilot can detect debris underwater during flooding, help people get out of the water, and it can deliver supplies. A snake robot and a crawler robot can detect gas leaks, and owing to built-in microphones and speakers, it can help communicate with survivors in hard-to-reach places. Developed together with NASA, Finder technology can detect breathing and heartbeat in 1 minute, even through 9 meters of concrete.
Yes, as we saw in the video right now, there are already technologies that could save humans even in such harsh and inaccessible premises and conditions. And this is just a small sample of what technologies await us in the creative society.
Exactly, and this is right the moment when we as humanity need to reconsider our values and just think in what kind of society we are living right now, and how already now we can change everything. Thinking about benefits, thinking about what are such a condition. For example, some countries have already built in order to, give a growth to such technologies like a good education, good technological base. And we need to scale it, because if we give a free education to a lot of people, they will easily create much more advanced technologies, because we need to understand that we as humanity, we are united. And in the end, these technologies that people from nowadays, like poor countries, developing countries, these people with good education can really develop a lot of things, and we can solve, for example, the climatic cataclysms issue that is happening right now, this cyclicity of cataclysms. And we really need urgently to work in this direction, because right now this thing that happened with the core of our planet, that it's not yet unknown, that is not yet known to us, and what is there and how it actually influences the whole climate on the whole planet is really an issue. And what are we doing? We sponsor industries that provide tools in order to kill another person. We sponsor industries that in the end also do not benefit to the health of our society, to the health of every person in our society, because sometimes, not even sometimes, but mostly money are much more advanced than, much more important than human life. And we know in order to change this situation, we really need to start talking about creative society. We need to start talking about this chance that we have. And I would like to ask Andrea, what is, in your opinion, how important it is right now? And can you also bring some examples to this topic of spreading the information about creative society?
Tak pre mňa je to naozaj veľmi dôležité, aby sme...
So for me, it's really very important that we change this format.
Ja môžem povedať, že aj...
And I can say that by actually helping or supporting, but actually
ale vlastne to pomocou vlastne pri
more by helping.
ako sme pripravovali fórum.
For example, as we were preparing the forum, I realized that there is enormous potential in society and in every single person. And that, as we've seen, we have all the tools provided. They're just not available to us. Let's put it that way, but we have them here. And we can simply change that society, that format. We have an incredibly big opportunity, so why not take it when there is so much potential in us, in every single one of us? And really, what else I've realized is that it's unity and cooperation that's important. What we can basically, we see it in the society. It's just like we are not being shown that example. But when we start showing each other that example, how we can achieve that, those positive examples. For example, also in the media, when we start to see positive examples of how we can help each other, how important unity is, then this will be the next step towards the creative society and towards changing the format for the better. I'm 100% sure that we will succeed, for sure, because people are good by nature. All people are good by nature. All people want to live well, in peace, in prosperity.
Yes, Andrea, that is true that every person wants to live in happiness, in peace. And the only thing what we have to do is to inform people about the creative society, that there is a way out. And in this format of society, in this consumerist format of society, we won't be able to overcome those issues and problems that are coming. And I'm talking about climate, because only in creative society can we unite scientific potential and find solutions to all of these problems that can save our lives and humanity, because creative society is a platform for unification for people. It is a project for all humanity, and we can build the society only together. And I would like to address next question to Nitusmita about climate. How important is it right now to raise awareness about climate change?
Good question. Being an instructor in a youth organization, I work with college-going students, school-going students, and they are our progeny. They are our future. So now we all are witnessing the degradation of every resources with which human life is formed or complete or on this earth. Why we are living, why we can live? Because we have water, we have oxygen, we have plants, we have soil, we have air. So all these resources are life-giving resources, and day by day it is decreasing. Day by day it is decreasing, and somewhere it is giving this decrease, this day by day depreciation of these resources, shortage of these resources is giving kind of fear heart attack. after a few years, the earth will become a void, empty vessel, and there, how our progeny will live. So just thinking about this, we feel goosebump, we feel kind of fear. Okay, I cannot live now. Just thinking, it's a nightmare. It's a dream, which is hunting every parent, every responsible person. Because after a few years, I will die. But after death, the progeny we have produced, we have left. We are giving higher education, we are giving fashionable life, we are giving beautiful house, we are teaching moral education, we are giving moral education, we are giving, we are thinking we are giving a lot of things to our progeny. But with all these, are they really going to live when there is no oxygen, when there is no water, when there is no plant, when there is no food? The main thing, main resource, we are destroying, we are sucking them, we are, meddling with the law of nature, and we are preparing a dry, dead planet for our progeny. So at that moment, you all can relate, you all can feel why the awareness for climate change is important for our people. If we do not bring this awareness by hook and crook, we have to bring awareness. Then only somewhere before we die, we can avail, we can give our real service, real, parenthood, the duties of parenthood, duties of a teacher, being professor, being guru in Indian language, master. If we bring awareness, we will be able to save some resources for our generation, coming generation, so that they can live on this earth. And they will the example we will set, they will follow the same example. In this way, we can teach our students, teach our progeny survival policy. And in survival policy, I would say that we have to be creative. And maybe this creative society is bringing that creativeness, it is trying to bring that creativeness of in people. We have to be now creative. We have to go, simultaneously with a modern life and a life where we understand our responsibility towards our climate, towards our earth, towards our environment. Then only our nation, generation, all this nation, entire earth will survive. So I really want to give a big thanks to the volunteers of this society, even thanks to me also, because every day whenever I take classes, I always take the chance to bring the topic of climate change in my classes, and I talk about creative society. And it is like spreading. We need to spread. We need to spread this positive infection of creative society among people around the world, and people will understand their responsibility. And the way one drop water become a big ocean, same way the good thoughts, the awareness of one word, one topic will gather in our mind, and from one mind to another mind, from another mind, just like our DNA, just like our creation, it will bring changes in our mindset. And change mindset will bring a change parents, change teacher. That change teacher, their parents will affect their progeny, their student. So this climate change topic awareness is a burning issue, and every person, every individual is responsible, and it is our duty to, create awareness.
Thank you so much for this illustrative example. It's really then easy to imagine that the whole ocean actually consists from these molecules of water, from these drops. If we detach them, it will be not already part of the ocean. But when we really just collect a lot of drops together, then it becomes a huge ocean. It becomes a force, a wave that can really change everything. And also what you have correctly said about responsibility, because when we feel that we are responsible for what is going on, we can change not only the life of other people, but we also change in our life as well, because we're also part of the society. And it's so great.
Sorry for interrupting, Alex. Here I would like to point one more thing, that we creative society, we people are suffering because of consumerist society, their money power, their game plan, war, whatever. This cancer industry, this COVID industry, this war industry, all are part of this society's strategic setup. So this mindset start grow from one mind to one mind. Somewhere we are making an army to fight this setup, this consumer society, and maybe in a ahimsa niti, in a non-violence way, as Mahatma Gandhi said. Example, if he can freed such a big country, then why we creative society through this non-violence, bringing awareness of people, can change the mindset of this people who are running behind money, because money cannot produce, money cannot bring peace, money cannot change molecules. Once the oil is finished, once the soil is contaminated, we cannot produce paper also, we cannot get metal also, we cannot produce the buildings and all, everything. So
also a nice example that it was also like a question that I like how much can you pay to a hurricane that it can just go past your house? You cannot. And it's really we are responsible for all the resources that are really in basic need. And in creative society, from one side of things, it's very important to really save the human life, right? To save all the needed resources and to clean our planet and raise awareness to every person how to live, in symbiosis with our planet, when we both benefit from living together. But it's one side of thing, survival and all these important things that one type of people can understand. But another type of people, when a person have a lot of issues, he is working every day very hard and he has so many troubles that it's not enough time to think about other things, like all these endless credits, working conditions and everything like that. And what's also important, that creative society gives solution even to this. That in creative society, we can really work 4 hours per day and only 4 days per week. And it is possible. It is enough time for all of us to contribute to the whole society, to really use technologies on their hard works that can substitute some monotonous or very dangerous working conditions that we have right now. And it just needs for people who are really in trouble right now to understand that creative society will benefit us all, that it will give such a freedom that we cannot even imagine right now. And in order to illustrate it, let's watch the next video.
The creative society. A society where human life is the highest value, where people respect each other. A safe world without wars or cataclysms. A society where people are confident about the future. Affordable food and housing for all. Work is for 4 days a week, 4 hours a day. Free education and health care. Economic stability. A world without inflation and crises. Available technology. Solution of environmental problems. Would you like to live in such a society? It's not a utopia. It can be our future. A future that we can build together.
Yes, friends, creative society can be our future that we can build only together. How can we build such a society? Very easy. Let's talk about stages of creative society. Well, they have to be done gradually, step by step, in order to build such a society. The first stage is the informational stage. We have to inform people globally in order to reach them. That's what we are actively doing right now. And when the whole world will know about the creative society, when the whole world will be talking about creative society, then we can establish an electoral platform, and then we can easily move on to the political stage, implementation of the 8 foundations, and so on. But in order to get there, every person on this planet must be aware of the creative society, and mainly everyone must understand that creative society will be beneficial for him or her. Every single person will benefit in such a society. Nitusmita, I would like to address this question to you. Why do you think creative society is beneficial for every single person, regardless of the profession, age, gender, or religion? And what kind of benefits do you see in the creative society?
Monica, another good question. Before I answer you, I would draw your attention to the name creative society. So creation means creation cannot be destructive. The earth is created, everything is good. We can see sunrise, we can see sunset, we can enjoy ocean, we can enjoy mountain, snowfall, rain, flowers, everything is good. Earth is created for everything. We can enjoy animal, pets, animals, babies, nature. Nature has built earth, so creation always is good thing. Then when we are creating a society, the society cannot be a bad thing. That will be a good thing. And then when I actually want to say the viewers, when you will go through the 8 foundation of creative society, you would come to know the beautiful objective of the society. And the main aim of the society, what I have understood, that create a good life, create a valuable life for every human being. When we say every human being, we are not mentioning any caste, creed and all. That means there will be affluent equality between all. When equality becomes the motto, or motto of life, motto of society, so automatically the clash regarding all this, whatever happening around the world, will not be there. When there is no clash, no fighting, despite colors, despite language, despite countries, despite food habits, everything, people will become all friendly with each other. And when people will become friendly each other, everyone will be working towards a common goal. And when entire human society will work towards a common goal, then there won't be any country, there won't be any geographical boundaries. Automatically, people will start believing that Earth is our country, Earth is our home. When every human being will start believing, will start nurturing these feelings that Earth is our planet, everything will be in the right place. And when everything will be in the right place, think we will be like in a seventh heaven. So creative society is giving a very beautiful dream, a golden dream to people. And like they are talking about not just a dream, utopia, we'll say. If we work the way creative society is thinking, planning, if every human, every people around the world start working, one day definitely this dream will come true. And of course, that time will not be there. Yes, our molecules will be there in someone's body. Our progeny will leave, our next generation, future generation will live in that peaceful planet and believing in creative society. There will be no US society, Indian society, African society. There will be Earth society, creative society. So, when I am talking about dreams, all this good, I'm feeling literally a positive vibration and very happy. Just thinking and just talking. Think if this dream comes true, there is bounty, there is infinite happiness will be there. So creative society is important. Creative society is valuable, and they are raising the thought process that human life is actually precious above all things. So to live a good life, genes is not necessary. To live a good life, not all this fashion is not necessary. Though we have option to adopt fashion, but there is possibility, there is option without harming the nature. We can use fashion and still we can live a beautiful creative life. So from here only, my viewers, I want to actually invite you all to join creative society and think creatively, value human life. When you wish to value human life, automatically your habits, your thought process need to be changed. You have to be friendly towards nature. You have to be friendly towards people, towards law of nature. You have to be very strict towards this consumerist society. You have to be, in control while consuming, while working with this society, consumer society. In one day, creative society cannot kill, cannot destroy this consumerist form of society. But if we work with this society, then one day definitely this entire setup of consumerist society will break, and the dream of creative society will come true. Hope my answer has satisfied your question, Monica.
Yeah, it was very interesting to listen to you on all these examples, and really, creative society is very simple in its essence. when you really think about that how easy it is to just to point, all the efforts, all our attention, all our striving for really to do good things into one direction, right? Like only for good, only for benefits or for everyone. Good health, good consumer products. Of course, we in creative society we need to eat something, and there will be a transition period where we'll of course use money because we already adjusted to it. We know how to use it and so on. It will last for maybe not so many time, but we ourselves will decide whether we'll need it further or not. But of course, everything should be with a good quality. Like if you buy a car, it should be a good car without any issues, and you don't need to go to working to this facility in order to repair something and so on. Like all these computers should be very long lasting and so on, very powerful, and it's actually easy and easier to do right now, and it's very simple thing. And when you start thinking about that, you really become so happy, so inspired to live by that, to live like that. And yeah, it's really inspires. And there are some questions about foundations of creative society, and one very interesting question: what do you mean by unification? And I would like to ask you, Andrea, can you explain what you understand by unification?
Dobrá otázka. Ďakujem pekne.
Good question. Thank you very much.
Ja si myslím, že
I think what will help us to unite
nám pomôže hlavne to,
is when
každý jeden človek
each person starts to respect the other person.
Proste to naozaj
when we put into practice the first foundation, where the highest value is human life. And when I value my life as well as the lives of others, then everything will evolve from there. I won't wish anything bad to anybody. That way I will protect the other person. Well, as we mentioned at the beginning, employers sent people to a factory that was about to collapse, and they knew what they were sending them to. This is not going to happen in the creative society, because human life will be valued by every single person. And this is, in my opinion, the core of everything, and really the basis, the absolute basis. Human life is the most precious thing we have, and I'm really so excited that this truth is being shown to people, that all the tools are being shown, that the way out of this consumer society is being shown, and how we can change our life and our society. So I'm really excited. And I would go back to the benefits. I see a very big advantage in the fact that actually a person will be taken care of in the society. That is to say, social security will be for absolutely everyone. And thus the fear for tomorrow will disappear on people, because we will see that the next day we will wake up to a beautiful society where we are taken care of in every single aspect. So really, the creative society offers all good things. I just really recommend and support the creative society.
Yes, indeed. Exactly how you said that when you value your life, then you value the life in every person. And that's the basic of the creative society, that human life is the highest value. Mine, yours, my friends, your families, it doesn't matter. Every single human life is the highest value. And at the end of this discussion, I would just like to say that for the past few thousand years, we've been living in the consumerist format of society, and they didn't have a chance to build the creative society. But right now, we have this chance. After 6,000 years, we have this chance to build the society that will be completely different. Happy society full of love, happiness, that in every the society where every person will be living in dignified conditions. And I'm so honored to be part of that, and I'm so happy and grateful that we all are part of that, and that we can build such a society together. And right now, I would like to address our viewers, dear friends. If you would like to participate in the international discussion as we are having right now, you are more than welcome to send us an email to info@creativesociety.com. And if you hesitate to do so, I'd like to encourage you to do that, because we want to hear from you. All those problems that are happening right now are our problems, not the problems of some individuals. It concerns us all. And if you want a future and life worthy man for yourself, your family, your kids, and all people out there, please spread information about the conference, about the one and only solution, which is a creative society. And of course, contact us and take part in these international discussions. We would love to hear from you. Also, I would like to thank our beautiful guests who opened up the topic of the importance being active, the topic of responsibility, that each person is responsible for what is going on in the world, and that you understand the importance of acting and informing people, and your contribution is so important. Nitusmita and Andrea, thank you so much for participating in today's discussion. It was a pleasure hearing from you.
Really, thank you so much. It was interesting discussion, and all these topics that we touch and all these examples, they are bringing us closer and closer to the understanding that everything is so simple. It's very actually simple to start talking about it. Stop talking about like all these issues that we have, or maybe still you can talk about the issues, but how they can be solved. Because in consumerist society, the format of society that we live in right now, there is only a dead end. I mean, people are trying to overcome issues in many aspects of our life. Whatever we take, just look around, right? Like in your sphere of job, or maybe if you're studying, whether everything is clear, or have you selected your education? And you really, if it's really a proper education for you, have you selected it yourself, or it was just the conditions? And like everything is a bit distorted in consumerist format, and people are trying to find a way. And today we have heard about the way out. We have heard about the creative society. So please share it. Use social networks so you can make a small video with your understandings. You can watch the forum and also make a small video from that, but can also be spreading of this information. There are so many ways that you connect, talking to other people and to your relatives everywhere, discussing the great society, discussing our way out that will benefit us all. It's a really wonderful world, a wonderful opportunity that we have right now. And with the help of technologies, we are able to inform everyone, from 8 billion of people that are living on this planet. And when we will manage it, it will give life to many thousands or many millions years that people can live. And that's what is more important, to understand that right now it's a great chance and we must use it. So thank you for your attention and see you next time.